Okay, Ashton here with Animation Information, and today we'll be reviewing the anime The Detective Is Already Dead. The Detective Is Already Dead, written by Nigoju and animated by NG Studios, is a 12-episode series that follows a girl named Siesta. She was a detective who, it's no surprise, is already dead. Following Siesta within her adventures and within this Sherlock Holmes-type-esque story is Kimihiko Kimizuka. Say that 10 times fast. Story follows Siesta and Kimihiko following this introduction of this hijacking of an airplane. From there, they're followed along trying to figure out this underlying evil entity that's going behind and causing a lot of these problems for Siesta as she's trying to complete her daily work as a detective. Hence, the detective is already dead. Not much to be said about a story that's, one, so short, but two, very to the point, underwhelming. There's so much that could have been that was not, and for someone who actually took the time to look at the manga and understand where the story was trying to come from and pull its narrative from, it failed so bad to do so. It starts off with, again, Siesta and this hijacking plane, a really high-budget animated first episode that was so enthralling, so thriving, and it was just very off the edge of your seat. You wanted more and more and more. And when the show was originally announced, I was actually excited looking at the characters themselves, how fun and exorbitant they looked. It was just, I wanted more and more and more. Come to find out, after the second episode, there's just not much that you get from the show itself. In fact, you get very little as the story introduces new characters in the most bland way possible, unfortunately. You get Alicia, who's this, I guess, little girl who is following this party who has a lost memory, and they have something that connects to an eye that leads to an idol pop singer star that ends up joining the party as well. It's just a muddled mess of people joining in and joining out. The story, you forget about it until at least the 11th or 12th episode. After the second episode, again, a lot of these connecting ideas don't really connect to the story itself. It's like everybody, including the main character, forgot what they were supposed to be doing in the first place. And it doesn't really serve a whole lot of anything. In fact, if you want to go watch a show like this that's really involving and gives a little bit more into like these fleshed out characters and this style, go watch Rising of the Shield Hero, because that's kind of what this show rips off of in some ways or another. Not that the story itself is bad, because again, the first episode is really just thrilling and really in your face. But it's like the genre changes from this thrilling overall excitement to this harem that really just delves down in this nothingness. It's a void of just... In fact, even the last episode, which really want to get you off of your feet to really involve in the characters and the story itself, just really fails to hit the mark as it brings you to another Detective Conan style series. And honestly, truly, even a show like Detective Conan, even though it gets absolutely nowhere, it's so fun. It's so involving. It's like you're a part of the case every single time, and you can't even get that feeling out of this. Between the action-packed first episode and every episode after that, you're following this character that's like walking into a crime scene, and it's just covered in flares. Like, you want to know what's happening around you, but you're just blinded by red light, and it's just harem and harem and harem, and they're like, oh, look at this new girl that's involved, and man, if you want to get a show like this that's really involved and really creative and really fun to really exceed those expectations, I personally would watch something like Eminence of Shadow or, again, Shield Hero. It's just a show like this that's so brought up so high with so much promise behind it. And I had really high expectations for this. Whether or not this is going to get a second season is beyond me, but man, if they do, I really hope to see more engaging. I'm not asking for like a really 100 IQ episode series, and nor do I really look back at some shows and just say, man, I really wish I didn't take the time to watch it, but this one's tough. I mean, I really wanted to be more involved in the characters, and even if you're trying to present a slow burning anime, just don't give it to where it's really feeding into these cliches of these shows. And that's the biggest sin of all, is how bad it just reminiscence off of other shows and how it relates to all these other shows. Give it some originality, give it some fine detail. Example, Classroom of the Elite. Man, it's such a fire show and it takes its time to really flesh out these characters. Mini review, and probably spoiler. Classroom of the Elite, the first season really does take its time until the second season, and it's just hitting you with all of these coarse, really detailed characters and really fun, extravagant ideas that come into it. And it really does play off the character and his 100 IQ-esque, and it really just delves into this nice full volume scale of it. And this show just really doesn't show off anybody's IQ. In fact, it does give a little bit of promise to Siesta, but it plays into this really cat and mouse game and this really fun idea of fireworks and we're gonna have fun today. And man, I mean, yeah, it has the style of Angel Beats and it wants to have the story writing of all of these other good shows around it. 2 out of 10, unfortunately. Yeah, 2 out of 10. If I could just say more character development, more characters involved, and I don't want to feel like I'm reminiscing about other shows, about other characters, about things that are already gone. Nice fine detail to like flashbacks, good ideas that were presented, great character design. It's a very underwhelming show in terms of first episode to rest of series sort of way. And I kind of want to see a second season just so I can get a story because I still feel like if I watched the first 2 episodes, it would have been the exact same as where I'm at by that 12th episode. Thank you for tuning in this episode of Cisco Bang. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, drop a comment, and we'll see you in the next episode coming up. If you saw the Hetalia video, which I don't have the poster up today, but if you did see the Hetalia video, I've been working on a lot of personal projects. In fact, I'm also moving here in a month. So you might see whole new lighting, whole new setup. I'll have my computer desk in a perfect position so I can be putting more content out to you guys, and I'll be super focused for more content. As always, Ashton, the detective's already dead. Cisco Bang, forever and ever. Much love your way. Keep watching anime, keep reading, keep writing. If you're a manga writer, that'd be pretty cool. Share some content with me, and we will catch you in the next episode. See you later, friends.